Demo diving will always be a part of the channel, but sometimes I get a little lucky in what I'm interested in covering. What I mean by this is that while playing the demo for an upcoming game, the wonderful people at Guillotine Agency reached out to me with an advanced copy of that exact game, and it really did show just how much a difference there is between the experience in a demo form and the full release. With that in mind, let's take a look at the game and see if it might be your next fix. Developed and published by a 3-person team at Lifefuel, OVIS Loop is a pixel art action roguelike with dynamic combat, player-led combo crafting, and a post-apocalyptic battle of wolf and lamb. Step into the shoes of the robot sheep Omega as you jump into the loop and create a unique combat style, master a variety of sci-fi weapons, and gather evolving skills to protect your flock. Now, as mentioned before, I was going to make a demo diving video on OVIS Loop. However, the lovely people at Guillotine Agency were kind enough to give me this copy of the full game to play. This is noteworthy as one of the points I was going to make about the demo is just how easy the game felt. Now that I've played more of the game, I can say that while the first act still does fall on the easier side of things, I have been unable to complete Act 2 due to a tough end boss and very strong elite fights. It almost feels like I'm either missing how to properly build my character, or a portion of the game is kind of locked behind meta progression and being flawless with your moves. I don't think I'm an expert by any means, but it did feel like those encounters that I faced were ones that you would normally get in the final act rather than what I expect is the middle act of the game, which makes it surprising that on the roadmap that the developers have released, one of the first things they plan on implementing is a harder difficulty. One of the best aspects of OVIS Loop is the combat. It has a nice flow to it with quick light attacks, chunky heavy hits that convey impact, and the overly satisfying silence right before letting a giant gun blast go off. You can exchange and modify your special attacks, even giving them the ability to be used again with a secondary option like backflipping and throwing grenades, making a small blast that gives you a shield, and even creating a black hole to suck your enemies into your combo. With each node on the traversal map granting you anything from additional skills, currency, weapon modifications, and various enhancements, it's really easy to get that build that makes you keep swinging until all the enemies are vanquished. One complaint about the combat is that with so many abilities at your disposal, it can very quickly become overwhelming on what's even happening on the screen, as all too often I was able to clump the enemies together in one ball that I would juggle with a combo, and it felt like I was just button mashing and would have to take a second to assess what was even left. Now, this isn't a major complaint, but it was easy to just kind of lose track of what's happening, and I'm also not really sure if it's a me problem, but many times I got caught pointing in the wrong direction in a combo, and I would have to reorient myself in order to continue attacking. With all that being said, each of the weapons you have at your disposal provide distinctly different playstyles, like the lightning sword built on quick light attacks, and the heavy hammer that staggers enemies easier so you can hopefully launch into the air to extend a combo. The levels you go through can sometimes have hidden secrets, although many of the levels were recycled, so if you knew where it was once, it was always there when you started a new run. Each level is capped off with a mini boss fight, which entails taking a basic enemy and enhancing them a little bit, but the elite and boss fights were unique experiences that were fun to see, even if I kept struggling in the second act to survive one elite encounter. The vague story that unfolds revolves around who or what you are and what role you played in the invasion of the wolves that led to slaughtering so many lambs, and along the way you're going to meet a variety of characters that will look to aid you in your journey. In the end, OVIS Loop does a great job at creating an intriguing world and giving the tools to the player to have a satisfying fluid combat. It could use a little bit more variety in the level design, but I think the combat made up for it because even though it was a little chaotic at times, it really was the biggest selling point. The world that was built and the mystery of who you are and what role you play in the world is intriguing enough to keep you pushing down the path. However, I'm not really sure how much longevity the game will possess past that. With that being said, OVIS Loop will be releasing tomorrow with a price tag of $16.99 USD and an initial discount of 20%. So I don't doubt that you will easily be able to get your money's worth if this is something you want to check out. With that, that'll be it for this video. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and as always, be kind to one another. Shoutouts go to Relativity, Naughty Dog is King, Chaos, and Kamikolo alongside all those subs to the channel. Thanks again to Guillotine Agency for the advanced copy of this game, and if you want to watch my stream tomorrow, I would be happy to see you there. But either way, I will see you soon.